rumours are everywhere right now. According to multiple reports, Sony and Microsoft could be preparing to launch the next generation of consoles as early as next year. But if you ask me, I don't think we're ready. In fact, I think releasing a PlayStation 6 or the next Xbox that soon would be one of the biggest mistakes they could make, and here's why. Hey everyone, welcome back to Novacore Gaming. Over the last few days, the internet has exploded with rumours that the next generation of consoles could arrive sooner than many of us expected. Now, obviously, none of this has been officially confirmed by Sony nor Microsoft, so take everything with a healthy dose of skepticism. But it does raise an interesting question. Should we even be talking about a new generation already? Personally, I don't think so. When I look at the PlayStation 5 today, it doesn't feel like an aging console. In fact, it feels like it's only just hitting its stride. For the first few years after launch, developers were still making games for both the PS4 and PS5, meaning we never really saw what Sony's latest hardware could truly do. Only recently have studios begun developing games exclusively for current generation hardware. And then there's the PS5 Pro. Sony literally released a more powerful version of the PS5 not that long ago. This thing is an absolute beast. Games look incredible, frame rates are smoother than ever, ray tracing has improved dramatically, and especially that image quality, and it's all thanks to Sony's upscaling technology, which is seriously impressive. If you've got a PS5 Pro connected to a really good TV, it's honestly hard to imagine needing much more right now. I also think we're reaching a point where graphical improvements are becoming smaller with every generation. Back in the PS1 to PS2 days, or even the PS2 to PS3, the leap was absolutely mind-blowing. Even the jump from PS4 to PS5 was noticeable, thanks to the SSD loading times, ray tracing, and much higher frame rates. But looking ahead, are we really going to see another huge leap? Or are we simply going to get slightly sharper reflections, slightly better lighting, and a few extra frames? For many players, this isn't a good enough reason to spend hundreds of dollars on yet another console. I honestly don't think developers have squeezed everything out of the PS5 yet. History has shown us that games released towards the end of the console generation often look dramatically better than games released near the beginning. Just look at The Last of Us Part 2 on PS4. Developers became masters of the hardware over time. I think we're only just starting to see that happen with current generation consoles. For me, gaming has never been about chasing the most powerful hardware. It's about the games. If Sony and Microsoft can continue releasing incredible exclusives and amazing experiences on the PS5 and Xbox Series, then honestly, I'm pretty happy. I'd much rather see developers take full advantage of today's hardware than rush into another generation. Now, to be fair, there is one argument in favour of releasing a new console. Technology is moving incredibly fast. AI is changing game development. Upscaling technologies continue to improve. Ray tracing is becoming more advanced every year. If Sony and Microsoft believe they can deliver genuinely new experiences that simply aren't possible on current consoles, then maybe a new generation does kinda make sense. But they'd need to prove it's more than just slightly prettier graphics. So that's my take. Personally, I think the PS5 still has plenty of life left in it. Especially with the PS5 Pro now on the market, it just feels far too early to move on to an entirely new generation. I'd rather see developers continue pushing today's hardware to its absolute limits before we start talking about what's next. But maybe you completely disagree. Would you buy a PlayStation 6 next year? Or do you think the PS5 deserves several more years before it's replaced? Let me know down in the comments below, because I'd genuinely love to hear your thoughts. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like, and if you're new around here, please do subscribe to Novacore Gaming, and I'll see you in the next one.